Hello and welcome back to Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11. So last time when we ended, we were getting attacked, I believe. So it is actually June that computer starts attacking the player. Well, not just the player, I suppose. The computer starts just generally attacking. Although they do preferentially attacks the player if they can reach you. Employ who we can for now. This guy's pretty good actually. He's got a good skill, which increases weapon production. So I'm gonna capture all the harbors and the gates that I can, as they give a percentage income of the money and food of the closest city, or the city that they belong to. Build barracks so can train some soldiers, as they're gonna attack soon. So I'm gonna evacuate the city and move everything back to my hometown because, well, we're not gonna defend this place against the oncoming onslaught. It is usually a good idea to keep the loyalties up. So reward your officers when you can. So since the enemy's here, we're going to take care of this guy. We're not going to attack him directly because we don't have enough soldiers. So we're going to use a tactic. Perturb. Basically stun the enemy for a few turns. Okay, so that animation shows that it was a critical tactic, I suppose. So it's gonna be more effective in this case. It's gonna stun them for longer. So good for me, I suppose. Just move everybody back and transport the remaining resources. Now you can just click on the city that you want to go and it's gonna automatically direct a path. That's how the computer does it. So basically when they're attacking you, they just click on the city, or they just click on the troop that you have, and it takes the shortest path. Although sometimes that doesn't work out. Like if you block a path, it's gonna take the long way around because it thinks it's a shorter path, but actually it's not. That's sometimes to the computer's detriment. So they're gonna come for this place as well. Might as well move everybody back. Now at the start of well, in this particular scenario at least, there's always undiscovered officers. So it's always a good idea to keep searching for people. And this guy is he's not actually from the Three Kingdoms. He's one of the add-on officers. And it's interesting because he has divine spears, which is a unique tactic only, or unique skill only to him. So no one in the Three Kingdoms have this skill. Only he has. Even though this is a Three Kingdoms game, for some reason, a guy that's not in this time era has this unique skill. basically, so it says it's strong spear tactics. So I think that's a high chance of succeeding, well, high chance of succeeding and likely to proc a critical strike when you use spear tactics. If the war of the officer is higher than the enemies, I think that's how it works. Now, unfortunately, here, Zhang Lu, the guy on the left, is gonna attack me, so we'll have to make some preparations. Obviously, I don't want to lose my home base here. Drill the soldiers. So every time they use tactic, well, tactics requires the will. So get that as high as possible. The structures are getting completed, which is good. Just in time. We will probably want to employ this guy since, well, he's got Divine Spears, mate. Come on. So production, this guy, as I said, he's got efficacy, so increases weapon production, which is very useful. Not too many officers have this skill actually, so although unfortunately they have pikes, so spears are working against pikes. It's kind of like a rock paper scissors thing. So we're gonna have to make something else. Now you can raise the security by inspection, so that's gonna influence how much income you have, the money and the food. And also, if it's low enough, then bandits might start popping up around your city. So don't want that happening. Even though bandits don't really have, well, high stats. So everybody's coming for the party? That's fine. So we're just gonna evacuate the two cities on the right and have this home base here. That was only a temporary thing to get some more money, some more food, and the possibility of finding more officers. And losing cities doesn't really cost you much. Unless someone gets captured while they're in the city. But if you're careful enough, then everybody can just get out. With more cities, you also generate more action points, I believe. So every time you recruit soldiers, your will goes down, and the security also goes down. So you gotta keep in mind. If you have more than one barracks, well, basically every time a barracks is built, you can recruit that one time. So you have 4 barracks, you can recruit 4 times. Although inspection and drill are, you can only do them once per turn. Found some new guy, try to recruit him, but didn't work out. That's fine. Here they come. Now, these guys don't really have high stats, but they have more soldiers, so can't reach them from here, so might as well just not engage, let them come. Although, if they get close to your city and they attack it, then your city, there's a bunch of detriments to your production stuff. So basically, you generate less money, I think, and you can you'll recruit less soldiers, you'll raise less security and all that stuff, and you can't move your officers. You can move officers from other cities to this one, but you can't move them out, so to speak. So you gotta do it ahead of time if you think you want them to leave. Oh yeah, the rank was raised to lieutenant governor, so that means you can assign more titles to people. But right now, at the start, there's a lack of money, so when you assign people to ranks, you gotta pay them more, I think. So it's might as well just not do it for now. But when you have a few cities and you have a stable economy, then you can just go for it. So, gonna do some pikes. Pike action. Now each unit has, well, spears, pikes, bowls have their own, and horses have their own special, each have their unique special features. Maybe I'll talk about them in the future. They're quite interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna use Rake here, that's ability, and move them along you at 1 square. So here the guy got injured. You see the color changed because this guy's ability to higher chance of inflicting injury. There's multiple ways that injury can happen, but maybe talk some more in the future. So might as well perturb this guy since he has the most troops, and my guy has very high intelligence. So stunning is very powerful because, well, they can't move for at least until the next turn. So if you have high intelligence soldiers, then... So here's Rush. It has the ability to stun the enemy. It's probably the most useful out of all the tactics for the spear guys, I think. Of course, that failed. If you see like a gas emitting, well, that doesn't sound quite right, but if that happens, then that means the tactic has failed. And you just wasted will, didn't do much. Since the guys here, their intelligence is quite low, you can always try to perturb them. There you go. You can just take one troop actually and perturb them. That works too. It's kind of a cheat, but hey, it's in the game. So here's Incinerate. Basically, fire arrows have a chance of setting the enemies on fire, and the people on fire take damage per turn. Now this guy, someone recruited him. If you see his stats, you'll see a very interesting, interesting stats. And well, we'll talk about him later, maybe. So here is Sideswipe. That's another tactic of the Rake guys. Basically, target the 3 areas in front of you and damage them all. keep them stunned. Here's... oh, that failed. So... oh, here's a double strike, so... that's because this guy's skill might attack twice. Now, if you use the ability, he doesn't do the ability twice. It's only basic attacks. So even though that tactic failed, that was a basic attack, and so that procced twice. Might as well save the will for more important occasions. Don't really always have to use them. Just basic attacks will do for now, since they're all stunned anyways. Might as well bring out more people, since I'm getting attacked from the bottom, I think. So, take care of this as quickly as possible. Now for injuries, oh yeah, these guys coming from my harbor, so I think they have S in ships, so don't want to fight them on the ocean. Oh, on rivers, I suppose. Not really an ocean. So we'll draw them onto the land. We'll let them take the harbor and beat them there. That's still a couple turns away though, so that's fine. You know, here's another guy. I failed again. So if you click recruit immediately after you find them, you can't recruit them for another 3 months, I think. So, but these guys have low stats anyways. It's not really a big deal. Before some guy you really want to recruit, then you probably, just to be safe, you probably want to click the just don't do anything and recruit them after that. Then you won't get the penalty. These guys. So when you're injured, your stats are lowered. So I think there's 2 states of injuries. There's light injury and there's heavy injury. And each with a different stat decreases. Might as well get these guys back since they're all stunned anyways. Get them to recover their will for a bit. Well, that's probably the wrong word, but will doesn't automatically regenerate. And also tactics against stun units, I think they have a higher chance of succeeding. So that's also, so basically if you're stunned, you're pretty much, it's not good. Even though they have low stats, it still takes a while to bring them down since they have such high numbers compared to me. So for injuries, right, you can get injured if you're sick, like there's a disease spreading. That's one of the occasional events. Or, well, you get injured in battle, or you get injured in duels, or you're going to die, basically, at the end of the lifespan. Now, if you become heavily injured in battle, there's a chance that you will just die from tactics. Especially horses. They're really good with that. Just injuring and killing people off. There's some more stuns. Oh, that doesn't work out. So pikes generally are for tanking purposes. Just get in the middle of everybody and do your tactic. There's a tactic that damages everybody around you. So that's for that. This guy doesn't get finished off. That's a bit awkward. Less than 100 troops. Gotta finish them off to get the food. Oh yeah, if you defeat an enemy, if you're close to them, well, basically next to them, when you kill them, they drop a percentage of their food and money to you. Oh, capture this guy, so might as well take him prisoner. So there's a chance of capturing people when you defeat them, and that's influenced by another bunch of conditions. So a pike's, the rake ability has a higher chance of capturing people, and also if you have them surrounded, that also gives you a higher success rate of capturing people. And if the enemy has low stats, that's also additionally that's not a word that I'm supposed to use here. Well, there's ability. Oh, this guy's dead. Yeah. All his cities got captured, so he's dead now. Well, he's not necessarily dead. It's just that his force is dead. There's also ability that always captures people. Now, how bugged out is that? And there's only 2 people with that skill, I think, and they're both in Wu, basically the forces of Sun Quan. So that's on the bottom right. So that's a pretty overpowered ability, if I do say so myself. Oh, here's double strike again. Now, when you capture them, okay, down he goes. Might as well just release him, because we'll employ him later. We don't want to just kill him off. We'll defeat his force and employ him, because he has a very useful skill called sustenance. Basically, that increases your food production of your city. As food is hard to come by, probably want him. Not too many people have sustenance either. Oh, I'm still here. Gotta move myself back. I'm not supposed to be there. Okay, so they're dead now. Well, they're defeated. Now you can build. You couldn't build when they were closer. Build some more weapons to prepare for the guys coming from the bottom. Granary is basically mint for farms. And there it goes. Alright, I think that'll be it for now. And, see you in the next one.